The second mindset is my unique vision and mission. My unique vision and mission. If I ask you, do you have a vision in life? Do you have a mission in life? This whole entire life, that your whatever your age is now, do you have a vision? Do you have a mission for it? If the answer is no, then that answers a lot of your problems in life. Yeah? That answers a lot of your problems of your life. There's no one who says yes, they have a vision, they have a mission in life, except that you will see they have achieved a lot already. They have achieved a lot already, even though they are going through problems in life. They may even go through more problems and more crises and more difficulties and more challenges in life than you, yet they have achieved a lot. Why? 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 Because they have a vision and a mission. Simple. So that one more time. If you're struggling in life, right, then that struggle becomes heavier. Yeah, it becomes more difficult. It becomes more challenging because you don't have a vision and mission in life. And then you drown therein. You are drowning therein. And those people who have achieved a lot in life, they also gone through problems. But they put their problems to a side, or they see their problems in perspective. They march on in achieving what they ought to achieve. They do not allow themselves to be dragged down or drowned within their problems that they are unable to solve or is beyond the boundary. So those who have achieved a lot already in life, be it in their early 20s or be it in their early 30s, they've achieved a lot. It's not because they have not gone through problems. It's because they have a what? A vision and mission in life. Is that clear? However, simply having a vision and mission in life, that doesn't make you extraordinary. It doesn't make you extraordinary. It doesn't make you achieve matters which transforms people's lives. For that, you have to find your unique vision and mission. That's where the uniqueness comes in. See, if someone was not meant to be, then people would have bumped into their spaces. So someone would have sat in your place. Someone would have bumped into you. Yeah? So each individual is unique, and thereby each individual's space is unique. And thereby each individual's time is unique. Each individual's goal is unique. Each individual's purposes are unique. Each individual's journey of life is unique. No two people's journey is exactly the same. No two people's talents and skills are exactly the same. Now, there is a notion out there. Yeah, when I say notion, I mean negative. There is a notion out there that not many people can be extraordinary. There is a notion out there that not many people can be extraordinary. Only some can. That notion, I don't want to prolong it too much, but that notion, in a nutshell, is false. It's not true. That notion is false. It's not true. There's so many ways of looking at it why that notion is false. There's so many ways one can look at it why that notion is false. I'll give you a couple. Number one, make sure you note them down. Number one, it goes against the wisdom of Allah to create a human being who is not extraordinary. It goes against the wisdom of Allah to create a human being who is not extraordinary. Number two, there's so much work to be done in every generation. There's so much work to be done in every generation. And a small extraordinary numbers of people are not enough. You need the bulk of the people to be extraordinary. You need the vast majority of the people to become extraordinary, not the other way around. Not the other way around. You need the vast majority of the people to be extraordinary. Yahya, you're late. Why are you late? Huh? You're my best student. You shouldn't be late. Huh? Okay. So we have this notion that the extraordinary people are 20% and the rest of the people are 80%. The reality is this workload in every generation that is needed, it needs 80% of the people to be extraordinary in order for the workload to be fulfilled and achieved. Yeah. So you know the 80-20 rule? It's the other way around, yeah? We have this notion that the 20% are the extraordinary and the 80% are normal people, average people. So the workload shows that the 80% have to be the extraordinary people. Number three, If people were not extraordinary at the vast majority of the people level, the vast majority of people, if they were not extraordinary, then they would not have deserved or be worthy to enter into Jannah for eternity. Because only the extraordinary people will enter into Jannah for eternity. These people have something great in them, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them an eternal place in His eternal home, which is worthy of them being rewarded for eternity for whatever khair they have inside them. This khair is not so small, it's huge. It's huge, that can be everlasting, that can produce an everlasting result, that can produce an everlasting fruit. For Allah to give them such a reward shows that they have something extraordinary in them that can be left behind as a legacy for people around them to benefit for a long time, for a very long time. The minimum is that they are able to control the nafs. The minimum is they are able to control the nafs. The minimum is they are able to kill the devil inside them and kill the devil outside them, or go against the devil outside them. That in itself is extraordinary character for a person to have. You see, one of the deceptions of shaitan is to make you think you're not special. Is to make you think you're not extraordinary. Is to make you think you're average and you're normal. It's one of the deceptions of shaitan. When you defeat yourself by yourself, it wins without a fight. When you defeat yourself by yourself, it wins without a fight. It doesn't even have to come to the ring to fight you. Every person I personally have dealt with, as soon as I gave them that mindset, that you're unique, you're special, you're extraordinary, as soon as I gave them the mindset, 10 years down the line, 15 years down the line, they actually became someone special. They actually became someone great in that community or in that particular society. It took them some 5 years, it took some 10 years, it took some 15 years, but eventually they achieved something great that was recognized by the community. There's one brother, I can give example. Just recently, a brother came to see me. I was with him in Egypt, I think in 2007. He used to see me now and then. I used to see him now and then in the salawat, in the masajid, and he used to speak to me now and then. And then I said to him couple of points, couple of things I said to him. And then he doesn't live in London, he lives in Luton. And couple of things I said to him, he ingrained in his heart and mind. After what? 2019 now. After good 11, 12 years, you got my number from someone, gave me a message, came to see me, and then he said his life story, what happened next. I haven't seen him, I haven't met him, I haven't spoken to him in the last 12 years. But after that, what happened was, this is his journey. He said after the advice that I gave him, he memorized the Quran, full, completely. He finished off Arabic language up to Alfiya ibn Malik, which is the highest poetry language. There's a poetry in language. Teaches all the rules of Arabic language. Then he opened up a business, and specifically he said a business advice back then. I tried and tested that, and it worked. and now he's a millionaire. So he came to see me, and then we spoke, and he said, whatever you need, obviously he calls me with a different name. He said, whatever you need, just let me know, I'll take care of it. Obviously I didn't believe it. I thought it was just a joke, he's joking. It's like, but actually on the spot he wrote a big lump of donation, a monthly donation for the Arqam. Yeah. So few people that you meet here and there, few times, you don't have to meet for a long time to transform people. You don't have to meet people for a long time to transform them. It's just putting that seed inside them, just opening that heart and that mind that you are someone special, you are someone unique. You can do something special. Yeah? You can do something special. And I can give you many examples like that throughout my life that all you have to do is put that seed inside them. That you are someone special, you are someone unique, you are someone extraordinary, and then you see what the people can do, what they can achieve. So don't let shaitan win without the fight. Shaitan shouldn't win even in the fight. But don't let him even win without a fight. Now the question people may ask, do I have a unique vision? Or do I need to have a unique vision? The answer is yes. You ought to have a unique vision. You ought to have a unique mission. What does that mean? Does it mean that you establish something new, completely new? No, it doesn't mean that. What it means is whatever role you have to play, no one else can play that role except you. Whatever role you have to play, no one else can play that role except you. And then be relentless at it. So unique vision, unique mission doesn't mean that you have to create and you have to establish something completely new. Someone else can do that. But you have a role in that. Whatever role there is, as long as you know that role, no one else can fulfill it, only I can fulfill it, be relentless at it. That is your unique vision. That is your unique mission. And that will make you extraordinary. I don't like to give this example, but that's the only example I found throughout the years. Brothers and sisters tend to grasp it more easily. A football team, yeah? The defender. If I was to put the defender as a striker, what would happen? Huh? Will there be any goals happening in your team? And if I was to put the striker as a defender, what will happen? Huh? What will happen? He will score most likely his own goals. Yeah? So, where do you put them? You put them in where they're good at. So their role, that role to defender, if becomes relentless behind his role, he'll become the extraordinary what? Defender. Same with the striker. If he focuses on his talents and he becomes relentless behind his role, then he'll become the best striker, maybe in his team, maybe even in the league, and so on and so forth. Yeah? How does he become extraordinary? In that team, if he's the best defender, like in Liverpool, who's the best defender? Van Dijk. So imagine if they have Salah, they have money, they have everyone. I'm supportive of Liverpool, by the way. Yeah. So they have everyone, but Van Dijk isn't there. How will the team look? How great will the team look? Not so great. Even though they have the best of what? Strikers. Why not? Because Van Dijk he's the extraordinary defender as a defender. Is that clear? That's the way to understand Islam and the work of Islam and the work of the Deen and the work of the Muslims. That whatever talents you have, whatever skills you have, you take it to the extraordinary level, and that's when you become someone that you can't be taken out. You can't be removed. You can't be replaced. No one can fulfill your job or your responsibility or your duty or your role. And that's how you become extraordinary. Let me tell you another statement. Make sure you understand. Extraordinary is relative. Give me one being who's extraordinary in every way, in everything. Give me one being. In every way, in everything. It's only who? It's only Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. No one else. There is no being, not even Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is extraordinary in everything. Is that clear? That means when it comes to the creation, the extraordinary is what? It's relative. It's relative to what you're good at. Your natural talents, your natural skills. The role you're given, the responsibility you take, or the duty that is commanded towards you or for you. So as soon as you get rid of these notions that are out there, then you can actually tap into the extraordinariness that you have inside you. And then you will see how you begin to produce and how you begin to be relentless therein, and how you kick out your defects, and how you kick out your weaknesses, and how you kick out your laziness. So my unique vision and mission, it has to be based on your talents. It has to be based on your skills. Now a lot of people ask me this question. Every time I talk about this issue, they say, what is the difference between passion and habits? Or talents and habits? And some people say, what is the difference between passion and hobby? What's the difference? Yeah? Because these things can be confusing. Note this down, this is gem. If I was to charge someone money for this, they would pay me. Yeah. Hobby is something that you enjoy, that makes you relax. Gives you comfort, gives you peace of mind. Not necessarily you're good at it. Not necessarily you are good at it. Like for example, my hobby is fishing. It relaxes my mind. I'm able to reflect more, but I'm not good at fishing. Every time we go try to fish, I get the least of the fish. Everyone gets more. Yeah? So not necessarily you are good at it, but it gives you the most comfort. It relaxes you. Some people like snooker. Some people, their hobby is football. It relaxes them. Takes mind off, it gives them peace of mind. But not necessarily they are good at it. Yeah? Passion. Passion is more than just a hobby. It's something that drives you, motivates you, inspires you. You'll argue for it. You'll spend your money for it. You'll enjoy it, but not necessarily you will relax therein. You'll enjoy it, not necessarily you will relax therein. You will pay money for it. Doesn't matter how much the money is, you'll pay. You also may charge people for it, or you may not charge people. That's a passion of yours. Can you just shout out a few passions of yours? I know Sodru's one. He's adventurous. That's his passion. That's not your hobby, is it? No. Passion, yeah? That's passion. Yeah, it drives him, it motivates him, it inspires him. He loves to do challenging adventures, yeah? Go up Mount like Tupkal and then Kilimanjaro and stuff like that. That's his passion. Yeah? It's like life and death situation, yet he will do it. Why? That's his passion. Yeah? That's not a hobby. Any other passions? Shout them out. Any passion, Husnan? You know passion? I'm sure you must have something. Anyone else?
What's your passion?
My passion. If you're speaking honestly, my passion is to make Muslims smart. That's my passion, honestly. When I see Muslims getting smarter, it makes me so happy. And every time I meet people, I always try to pick the brains and try to give something in the brain, just stick something in there that will make them more smarter, make them more sharper. There's nothing that makes me more happy than seeing Muslims independent, can think for themselves. They don't have to follow the crowd. They can filter things with their own brains. They don't have to think with another brain. They can think with their own brains. Yeah? And that's why sometimes I speak so much about these. Every time I find people, I speak about this. Even when I'm eating, I'm speaking about these issues. Sometimes people tend to take, because the load is so heavy. The load becomes so heavy, people tend to then, it's like it's burdensome on them. Because I repeat how they should become smarter, wiser, sharper, more independent, more relentless, strive more, think more, plan more, execute more, and so forth. So it's a constant repeat. Whenever I have a chance to talk, it's the same message I keep repeating. Some people find it very, very burdensome, because obviously it's very heavy for you to then not be dependent on others. For you to become independent, it's very heavy. It's not easy. So that's my passion. Said, what's your passion? You must have a passion.
Community work.
Community work. Drives you, inspires you, motivates you. Yeah.
Always involved. Very young.
Yeah, that's why he's involved in the Al-Arqam. Alhamdulillah. Yeah. So these are your passions. Talents. What are talents? Talents are things which is first and foremost given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala within you. They could be within you around 30% and above. 30% and above. So if you have any talent which is 30% and above, or we can say if you have any wholesome character which is 30% and above, that can go in the category of talents. That can go in the category of talents. And these talents then eventually lead you to gaining the practical skills. They become a channel of gaining a particular skill. In Singapore they have an amazing curriculum. You know, Singapore is the highest when it comes to what?
GDP per capita.
In education. Singapore is the highest. That's why education is number 1 in the world. Yeah? They have something amazing. Does anyone know? They have something amazing, and that is, in Islam we have it at a very more earlier on, but they have it a bit later on, which is they have 2 segments of curriculum. Yeah, one is for the ones who are, in terms of writing and reading, in terms of perception, the mind is higher than the ones who are lower than them. So the ones who are higher in terms of perception, in terms of imaginations, yeah, in writing and reading, and then imagining things, and able to see things out of the box, able to calculate things, yeah. These people are pushed more towards the theory world, the theory realm, and then to plan things and to trial and error things. So they become the scientists, they become the doctors, they become the engineers at their highest and top level. Then you've got people who are not in the mind, in the brain, they are not at that level. What they tend to do is they are pushed towards practical skills. So they are pushed towards entrepreneurship, they are pushed towards businesses, they are pushed to making things practically. They become the physical, tangible building block of the nation, of the state. And they start this from the age of 6, 7, and they continue, and they begin to separate the pupils or the students from the ages of 12 to 13 to 14. This is when they begin to separate it. So they monitor them, how they're doing, and they begin to separate them. And then the education system completely is different from the person who's going into academic learning and the one who starts to learn practically. That's why they became the wealthiest nation after independence. I think they were the fastest nation after independence that became the wealthiest. So the talents, your talents, if anything, wholesome character, if it's anything above 30%, you can calculate yourself, it's above 30%, then you can work on them and you can make them into talent. You can make them into talents. Yeah. For example, if I was to ask you, I want to ask your maths. How's your maths calculation? Where will you put it out of 100%? I'm not good at it. Yeah? So that's very good. That's a talent. You can work on it. So me, I'll put my maths like 2%. That's not a talent of mine. Yeah? I'll put that at 2% level, maybe lower than that. You see, that's not my talent at all. I'm not going near it. If anyone asks me, Kakash, I always say to the brother next to me, I ask the brother next to me, what's the result? What's the answer? I don't answer it. I never even try to. It's not in my mind. Yeah? But you give me any book, yeah, and you say, Shaykh, read this in 1 week. I'll finish in 1 day. If it's interesting, if it's boring, I'll read 1 page and I'll give it back to you. I don't need it. But if it's interesting, you give it to me, you say read this, I'll finish in 1 week. Yeah. So that's reading is my talent. Yeah. Reading is my talent. So, or anything imaginary. If you give me philosophical theories, yeah, and you ask me to add them philosophical theories up in my mind, I can do that without writing or drawing. That's my talent. So you look at your talents. If it's above 30%, I said again, if it's above 30%, then you can work them, you can enhance them, and you can make them into talents. Anything below 30%, then they are not your talents, but they are additions to your talents. They strengthen your talents. Anything below 15%, then they are weaknesses you need to work on. Yeah. So your skill sets will be based around your talents. Your outer skill sets or your outer production, your outer results and fruits will be based on your talents. With your talents, you can charge. And the enjoyment, I'll say that statement, make sure you know this one. The enjoyment not necessarily will be in all the talents, but it will be in some of the talents. Your enjoyment not necessarily be in all the talents, but it will be in some of the talents. It will not make you relaxed though. It will not give you peace of mind. Hobby does that. And with your talents, you can make thousands, you can make millions with your talents. That's the difference between a hobby. A hobby, you will not be able to make money throughout your life. With talents, you can. Talents are always needed in the society. Talents are always needed in the society. When I say society, I mean the building structure of the society. Yeah? Talents are always in the building structure of the society. Now, why do I say all of that? The reason I say all of that, because your unique vision and your mission has to be within what? Hobbies? Has to be within what? Passion and talents. Yes. If you can combine passion and talents, you'll be a millionaire. If you can combine between passion and talents, you'll be a millionaire. Millionaire, not necessarily millionaire financially, but millionaire in your what? In your heart. In your heart. You'll be millionaire in your heart. Why? Because it's something that you're passionate about and your talents are in there. Yeah? Even if you're not earning much money, you'll be happy. You'll be content. Because you're enjoying what you're doing. You love what you're doing. There's one more. Cause. Cause. Causes can become the ultimate driving force. And it can become the ultimate vision and mission. However, for causes to become the ultimate driving force within you, you have to work a lot on your talents. Because as soon as you take a cause in your heart and in your soul and in your mind, and it becomes your driving force, there's only so much you will attain of the cause if your talents are at a lower level, at a weak level. Is that clear? So, for example, your patience. Your patience is at 15%, 20%. You have a great cause in your heart and in your mind. Because of lack of patience, you will fail the what? You will fail the cause. You will fail the cause. Give example, sharp thinking. You know, when I say sharp thinking, I don't mean sharp speaking. Sharp thinking or quick thinking doesn't equate to quick speaking. You know, in our Bengali culture, we have this culture that the ge shunder jadite pare, the ge khakra jadite pare, ogu clever, ogu smart. Yeah? We have this notion in our Bengali culture that one who can reply back quickly, and this tends to happen with the sisters a lot, the young girls a lot. The one tends to reply back quickly or reply back smartly. She's tend to seen as to be the smart one. Yeah? And the one who's quiet, doesn't reply back, or doesn't know how to reply back, she is seen as the dumb one. Yes or no? This is in the Bengal, I don't know about Pakistani culture. How is it? See? So this is in Bengali culture, yeah? And we begin to hype up that young girl, the one who can speak much, and we tend to speak with her more and make her reply back more, and we say fakhnavuri and all that stuff, yeah. But in reality, in the real world, she can actually be dumb. She can actually be dumb. Or he can be actually dumb in the real world. And the one who is not speaking, yeah, who looks like a dopey with the glasses on, yeah, and we look down on her or him, yeah, he actually can find the solution in his mind. He can have the solution in the mind, yeah, but he doesn't know how to articulate, he doesn't know how to say it. But practically in the real world, he can actually solve that problem or find that solution, yeah, either in the spot or either later on. either on the spot or either later on. Sharp thinking. So sharp thinking, look at your sharp thinking. How sharp am I in my thinking? So if I have a problem, how quickly can I solve that problem in the mind? If it's 30% and above, that's a talent. Work on it. Now practically utilize, like, give your kids puzzles to solve them. The more puzzles they solve, the more they work that brain, work that mind. And then give tangible physical problems to solve. Yeah? And you see that how they grow that talent. And keep giving them until they grow. Even yourself, solve problems. Don't be afraid of solving problems. Because this world, it can be perfect for those who have the mind of solving problems. They're never afraid to solve problems. Can I have some water, bro? Kettle take it to the tray. Kettle take it. Warm it up. Yeah. Mix it. Yeah. If you're not, some people might say, some people have this notion, again this is a negative notion, that I'm not a sharp thinker. Sisters may have that notion, brothers may have that, I'm not a sharp thinker. So they think because they are not sharp thinker, they're dumb. They equate themselves to be dumb. Yeah? No. Just because you're not a sharp thinker, either in the spot or either later on, doesn't mean you cannot be the mechanism of solving the problem or finding a solution. You can be the process or you can be the mechanism. For example, someone solved the problem, okay? But he or she, the person who solved the problem, doesn't have the talent to build the thing. But you have the talent to build the thing. Yeah, you have the talent to build the thing. So just because you don't have a sharp mind or sharp thinking, doesn't mean you can't actually solve the problem. A lot of people equate this, especially sisters. They think they don't have the sharp mind, and then they straight away think that I'm not smart enough, and thereby they shut the rest of the mind and the rest of the brain. A lot of young brothers do that also. So build your talents practically and theoretically. And then align it with your, try to align it with your passions. Try to align it with your passions. And then find your unique vision and mission. So that again, build your talents, try to align you with your passion, I'll give you another example. Yeah. So this passion is what? What's his passion? Adventure traveling. To travel in an adventurous way. That's his passion. Yeah. He has talents around that also. He has skills around that also. Now, if he makes that into a business, yeah, and some of that business is supporting causes, then he is in the category of extraordinary person. Simple. Yeah, everything's in there. The causes are in there. The money making is in there. The talents and skills are in there. Side by, he likes community work. Same. That's his passion. I'm sure he's got talents and skills therein. All he has to do is a business around that community work. Khalas. You find there's so many businesses out there that you can do. But does everyone do the same business? Why not? Because people are driven by passions. You find the best people of business, they made their business align their passions. Align with their passions. And then you see that they support their causes, their specific particular causes. So this is the recipe of being extraordinary. Recipe, simple recipe. Distinguish between your hobbies, your passions and your talents. Enhance your talents. Try to align your talents with your passions and your passion with your talents. Establish a business accordingly, and then fight for causes. Now let me ask you this question. Where are you in this stage? Where are you in this stage? That is why you see yourself though extraordinary. But if I was to ask you the question again, what if you were in any of those stages, would you have taken yourself to be extraordinary? What's the answer? If you are at the last stage, so you got talents, you're aligned with your passions, you're making money, you're supporting causes, your causes, would you have taken yourself, would you have seen yourself, yes, I'm an extraordinary person? Yes or no? No? What will make you extraordinary? Huh?
I don't know.
If you achieved more than that. So if you don't see yourself being extraordinary after you're achieving all of these things, you'll see at least you're on the track of becoming what? Extraordinary. But if you're not even on the track, then you will not see yourself as extraordinary. Is that clear? So just by having these mindsets, focusing on your talents, aligning with your passions, and then making up a business, or establishing a business, and then supporting causes, will make you an extraordinary person. How long will that take for you to do? If you were to ask me a timeline, how long will it take for you to do that? If you put your head down, how long will it take?
5 years, 10 years.
How long will it take, brothers? Give me the maximum number. How long will it take? Huh? You know your talents, you know your skills, you know your passions. Align them with the business, and then making money, you're supporting causes. How long will it take? Give me a number. 5 years. Anyone else? 10 years. Anyone else? Huh? A lifetime. Why are you here in the class? Huh? It won't take you a lifetime, trust me. If you just put this, what I just said, you just put that in work. Just look at your talents, enhance them. Then gain skills accordingly. Align with your passions to do a business. Once it starts making money, you start supporting your causes. Whatever causes you have in your heart, you start supporting it. 5 years, some 10 years, some 15 years, some 20 years, but you will achieve it in your lifetime. Without getting old. You will achieve in your lifetime. You will die as an extraordinary person. No doubt about it. You will achieve it. But if you don't have this in paper and pen, and you don't start laying the tracks, you will die just like you are now. And you don't know where you are, you don't know what you're doing, you have no idea where you're going, you will die like this. Yeah? And trust me, if you put your head down, it will not take more than, in average it takes 7 years. In average it takes 7 years. That's the average number. If one just puts the head down, in average it takes 7 years. And this goes with the sisters also. Same. Okay, let's take the bullet points. Learn, study and gain experience about roles and responsibilities with great intentions, lofty goals, visions and purposes. When you're young, focus on this one. Yahya and the younger brothers there, focus on this one. Yeah, learn and study. Focus on gaining knowledge, learning and studying, gaining experience. Whatever role your parents gives you, your elder brother gives you, your elder sister gives you, fulfill that role. Try to fulfill that role in the best of abilities and capabilities. If you're weak in a skill, gain that skill from your father, from your mother, from your elder brother, from your elder sister. Yeah. Focus on learning and developing and gaining skills. That's your priority. When it comes to your little children, make them focus on that. That for them to enhance their talents, for them to keep learning, for them to keep gaining skills, for them to solve problems. Yeah? Early on, just push them, keep pushing them to become independent as early and as quickly as possible. Number 2, socialize with family members, relatives and friends in order to gain experience and skills of life. When you socialize, do you have this mindset? Do you have the mindset of, I'm socializing with my friends and relatives and neighbors and so forth for me to gain life experiences, for me to learn from their life experiences? If you shift your mind from just chit-chatting and socializing, Sasi bala suni, khalamma bala suni, you pass that, you bypass that. You actually sit down with them and have a proper engaging conversation and learn from the experiences. For example, you ask them questions like, were there a difficult situation in your life where you had to make a very critical decision? You had to leave your husband back home, or you had to leave one child back home. Why did you make that decision? How hard was it? Did you ever live in poverty where you had to starve one day, where there was no food in the pots? What did you do? How did you survive? Did you share clothes? Ask them these questions, especially the elder. There's so much inner qualities that you can learn. There's so much process of thought that you can learn from them. There's so much values that you can learn from them. How they prioritize the value. And that will give you tangible experience from your parents, from your grandparents, from your uncles and aunties. That will give you tangible experience that if you go through similar crises or similar challenging priorities or similar challenging values, then you've got someone in your relative or in your family or amongst your surroundings, someone who or has already achieved it, done it, been there. You can go back to them and seek advice from them. Yeah, that will make you a better person, a loftier person, more valued person. Number 3, utilize the process of the fitrah and the aql to the greatest extent. Master plans and execute them by writing. Okay, salat time, we'll stop here and after salat we'll continue. Just going back to the first point, when it comes to intentions. When it comes to your children and your nephews and nieces, obviously you will know from the statements and from the actions, you will know the ultimate intentions they have behind something. In the beginning, they will not grasp when you say do things for the sake of Allah, intend Allah at the end of the day, or intend for Allah to be happy. They will not. You can say them. Obviously, you should say these statements. Intend Jannah for your parents, intend Jannah for your uncles and aunties and so forth. You can say these things behind the good deeds or good actions or any actions which is allowed they do and they perform. You can say these intentions for them, but they are not able to grasp it. What you should say in terms of tangible intention they should make, which is something they can do straight away, something they can see is, for example, give this chocolate to your brother or your sister with the intention to make him or her happy. This is something tangible. They can make it, they can see it. As soon as they give that chocolate, they will see the happiness of their brother or their sister. Yeah? Or go and give a kiss to your mother, or a hug, or say I love you to your mother. Go and say I love you to your mother. Yeah? When you say these things and say, if you say this or if you do this, your mom will be happy. Your father will be happy. When your father comes home, run to him, give him a kiss on the cheek and say, Dad, you're the best dad. Yeah? Or Dad, you do so much for us. Or Dad, I miss you. Say things with the intention, you say to him or her, say these things with the intention of making your dad happy. So now they link in the action and the statements with what? With what? What are they linking it with? With the intention. They're linking it with the intention. And then linking it with the result and the fruit they will see with their own eyes. Is that clear? So they need to process that. What you're saying, do things for Allah, they need to process it. So because they can't see it, this is how you show them. This is how you show them. So you start with things which are allowed for them to intend, and they can see it with their own eyes. Then when you say to them, pray salah to make Allah happy, they know the process. This makes Allah happy. Now they can't see Allah, but they can imagine Allah being happy. And then you can take it to the next level. But see, when Allah is happy, He gives you blessings, He gives you favors. That's how He shows that He's happy with you. When He's not happy, He's angry, He punishes you. Just like your father or your mother when they discipline you when they're angry. And when they don't give you things when they're angry. Just like that, Allah Jalla wa Ala disciplines you by giving you trials and tribulations and also punishing you. So as soon as they process it with their parents or with the uncles, with the aunties, then they can elevate that process, the exact same process with Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. Rectify the intention if it's wrong or if it's not allowed. So when you see your son or your daughter showing off, rectify straight away. Don't let that showing off grow. Many of our parents and our uncles and aunties, they let that grow. They actually make it more big. Yeah. Yesterday, someone sent me a video where this cute little child and his cousin brother's recording him. And it's like the cousin brother is saying, "Oh, you're so cute." Yeah, and I'm sure everyone says that to the little kid. "You're so cute, you're so cute." So he's recording and he's saying, "Oh, you're so cute." The kid looks at the camera, the little child looks at the camera, and guess what he says? "Yeah, I know, I'm cute." I've got the video on me. Because it's been said to him constantly, consistently by everyone around him, his parents, his aunties, his grandparents. He's only like, 4 years old. Yeah? And it's because everyone is saying to him, he's processed it in his heart and his mind, you know what, I must be cute, and I am cute. Then he looked at it with a cheeky face, he looks at the camera and goes, "Yeah, no, I am cute." Imagine. So we parents, we uncles and aunties are destroying this little child. He will now, when he goes amongst his friends, he will see himself higher than, loftier than them. But when they will not care about his cuteness, they bully him, then he will find the inferior complexity. That's what happens. That's what happens. Yeah? Same with the girls. You keep saying she's pretty, or she's cute, or she's pretty, she's beautiful, blah blah. You keep saying it, keep reiterating it, and then in front of neighbors, you boast about these things. What happens eventually? Evil eye is natural, obviously comes, but worse is she eventually, when she is not then respected because of her intellect, or because of her talents, or because of her skills. She's only respected because of her beauty. Eventually, she will take advantage of that, but sooner or later, someone will take advantage of her beauty. And then she will get inferior complexity. So rectify the intention soon as you see them showing off. Even with allowed matters. So for example, they say, oh, I've memorized whole of Juz Amma. And the other kid is saying, oh, I've only memorized half a Juz. And your son or your daughter is saying, oh, I've memorized. That's a showing off sign. Tell the son of showing off. Rectify it. Rectify it. The parents should say, oh, that's because you started earlier than him or her. Or that's because Allah favored you now, but that He may take away that favor if you're not grateful to Him. Or that's because his parents are not giving him enough time. We give you more time. Blah blah. Put it in perspective. Make sure that showing off doesn't come, because when it comes to kids, two things destroys them. Showing off early on, that destroys them. And parents giving them whatever they want. These two destroys a child. He becomes dependent on others. This is, when parents, they give someone, constantly give, they're actually making him what? Dependent on others. And they become the most greedy of people. So whenever you see them showing off, rectify. Whenever you see them being spoiled, or there are telltale signs that you're giving them too much, make them earn the things they want to. Make them earn it. So you say they want a bike, you say, okay, you have to go to the masjid with your father consistently, or you have to wake up for Quran consistently and memorize this much. Make them earn what they want. Then they will learn, before they achieve something, they have to work hard for it. They have to then earn it and deserve it. And not necessarily you have to give them what you said you will give them. So if you said to them, I will give you a bike, after they've achieved it, don't give them what they exactly wanted. Give them something less than that. As long as you give them a reward, then that process you've taught them. You have to give the thing specifically which you have said. And the more they grow, inshallah we'll talk about these techniques, the more the children grow, the more, when you put more conditions on. And then if you don't give exactly what you promised them to give, you show them that because you are unable to fulfill some of those conditions. So that way the life becomes real to them early on. Inshallah, when we go to children's module, within this unit, when we go to children's unit, we'll talk about this more in detail, inshallah. Okay, moving on. Utilize the process of fitra and aql to the greatest extent. Master plans and execute them by writing. How many of you have actually planned something in writing and then executed it and achieved it? Can you raise your hands? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a good number of people. When you write something and execute it, that's the beginning. That is the beginning of you laying your tracks of achievement. You know that Surah Al-Arqam, the verse says, اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم. The one who taught him and brings with the pen. What it means is, some of the Mufassirin say what it means is writing your plans down, seeing how much you've executed and how much you failed, and then retaking yourself into account, reevaluating yourself, and then writing it again. That's how Allah teaches man through the pen. He teaches his mistakes and then he learns it. Teaches his failures and then he rectifies it. Okay? Sooner or later you will see that if you're writing your plans constantly and you're executing them accordingly, and then you fail, and then you write them again, and then you fail, and you write them again and fail, sooner or later you will see you are achieving. You are achieving. You are achieving. And eventually you will see that you're not achieving one thing, you're achieving multiple things. Utilize the fitra and the aql, the sound mind. Utilize it, especially when it comes to your kids. Make sure they think, they are able to utilize the fitra and the aql at the highest of level. You also utilize your intellect. Utilize, question this, question that. Look at this in different angles. Keep calm. There's no need to get frustrated or angry. Even if you're angry and frustrated, calm yourself and then think, plan. There's always solutions to be found. This earth was created for human beings. Nothing is impossible in this life. Nothing is impossible in this life. And ultimately, if after trying everything you realize this is the qadr of Allah, then His plan is better than you. His plan for you is better than you. Khalas, have yaqeen therein. His plan for you is better than you. Have yaqeen therein. Be content. Last point. Gain theoretical skills as well as practical. Focus more upon that which you are weak at. Are you a theoretical person generally, or are you a practical person generally? Whatever you're weak at, focus on that. It doesn't enhance in terms of making it strong. And whatever you're good at, excel that, enhance it. For example, sisters generally are more creative than men. Yeah, men are less creative than sisters. Sisters are more tidy and neat than Women are very clumsy and all over the place, yeah? We'll put our papers, books, letters, pens everywhere. What do the sisters do? They put the pens exactly in that place. If you move every inch, they're like, why did you move my pen or a spoon? They asked to be exactly where they left it, they put it. Very tidy and neat. We generally are opposite, yeah? And then, in very specific matters, so some men are very theoretical and other men are very practical. You might be in between. Yeah, some sisters are very theoretical, other sisters are very practical. Again, some sisters might be in between. So look out where you're stronger and then enhance it. Look out where you're weaker and mitigate it and strengthen it. The quicker you do that with your children and the quicker you do that with yourself, the quicker you will enhance your talents. The quicker you will enhance your talents. Never ever be afraid of learning. Never ever be afraid of gaining experience. Never ever be afraid of letting others know of your weaknesses. Never be afraid. Because in the long run, you will see how they are all helping, assisting you in attaining your goals and purposes in life. We know I said in average it takes 7 years for people to reach that extraordinary level. I've witnessed it in my life's journey with people. I've seen how people, normal people, you'll see them normal, average, have become extraordinary because they've took those mindsets and they placed it, they planned it, and they're executing it. You see it within a couple of years how they laid the tracks. They've laid the tracks. They may see the fruits in 10 years' time, 15 years' time, 20 years' time. But the point is they've laid the tracks of becoming extraordinary. Yes. Huh? How old am I now? That's a top secret. Okay, anyone else? Any other questions? Yes.
How would you know what time to put into what, like, in terms of like your strengths and weaknesses?
That's a good mindset. That's a good question for the good mindset. Basically, everyone's got weaknesses, everyone's got strength. So where do you put more time? Mitigating things and strengthening things or enhancing things? You focus more on enhancing. Write that down. It's a gem. You focus more on enhancing. So you focus more on your talents. Yeah? Why? Because generally a person has more talents than weaknesses. Generally a person has more talents than weaknesses, or they have greater talents. So the talents is greater than the weaknesses. So you may have 10 weaknesses, but 2 of your talents can outweigh the 10 weaknesses. So focus on your talents. And so, for example, if you're on time, if you're on an actual time frame, so for example, throughout the day, say you spend 3 hours on your talents, enhancing your talents. Spend 1 hour getting rid of your defects and weaknesses, or strengthening your weaknesses. And I can guarantee you, if you do this, what we said today, if you do this focus next 7 years, inshallah, you'll come back and you thank me. You'll come back and you thank me. Yeah? And I expect some donations to come to Arqam, yeah? Large ones. حياكم الله سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم.